Hello everyone, this is Devang here and I welcome you back to another episode in my series of Costology. Costology is my series of short videos where we talk about certain interesting terms in my favorite subject of costing. Yes, so before we proceed with my term for today, let me remind you that my regular classes, my regular batches are already running on Unacademy platform. Yes, only on Unacademy platform, and you can use my code Yashas Live to get some attractive discounts on your subscriptions. You need a plus subscription for that. Use my code to get some attractive discounts on my subscriptions. Okay. In fact, right now we are having very attractive discounts running up for you. Well, look at this. You can use code Yashas Live. You can use my code Yashas Live and get 20% discount on all your CA Final subscriptions. Offer valid till 29th of July only. So hurry now, rush now and get your subscriptions today. Right. Okay. Now, my term for today is the term called indifference point. Indifference point is a very common term used at many places in costing. Well, in fact, it is also used in your CA intermediate level costing and even CA final level costing. Sab jagah pe all places this term might be used, right? What exactly is this? What is the use of indifference point? Well, let's see. Indifference point is basically a point of units above which we can afford a higher fixed cost level. Normally, it is required when you are choosing between two options in which one option has lesser variable cost, other option has lesser fixed cost. So one option is cheaper when you compare variable cost, but when you compare fixed cost, then the other option seems to be cheaper. So how will you decide which option should you choose? Well, which option you should choose will depend on what is your usage. What is exactly your usage? And for that matter, we use the concept called as indifference point. Now let's understand that with an example. Simplest, most common example which I always give. Let's say you want to choose between buying a petrol car or buying a diesel car. You are confused which car should you buy. Yes, and this is a very common confusion, and I'm sure all of you must have heard that when you are choosing a car, whether to buy petrol car or whether to buy diesel car depends on what? Well, it depends on your usage. Normally people say that if your usage is more, then you go for diesel car. I'm sure you must have heard that, right? If your usage is more, then you go for diesel car. But here we want to quantify that. Yes, here we wish to quantify that if your usage is more than what? More than what should be your usage to choose the diesel car? Well, that quantification is my indifference point. Let's see that in my example. Say petrol car is is the one in which your variable cost is 10 per kilometer, fixed cost is 1 lakh, right? So petrol car is having this cost. Diesel car is having a cost of 6 per kilometer, but fixed cost is 1,24,000 per annum. Now this annual cost will include the cost of maintenance, will include the depreciation, service charges, everything, right? So you notice that with respect to variable cost, which is cheaper? Well, with respect to variable cost, diesel car is cheaper, running expenses less. But with respect to fixed cost, my petrol car is cheaper. Yes, so petrol car, your annual expense, purchase cost, service cost will be less, right? So diesel car is better when you compare the running expense. Petrol car is better when you compare the fixed charges. Now, indifference point is basically the level of kilometers above which diesel car should be chosen. Now you notice that if at all, if at all I choose to buy the diesel car, if at all I choose the diesel car, then how much extra fixed cost do I pay? 24,000 extra fixed cost I am paying. Now, why would somebody pay 24,000 extra fixed cost? Why would somebody pay extra 24,000 for the diesel car? Well, anybody would pay extra 24,000 for the diesel car because you expect to save some money in using the car, right? What is the money that you will save in using the diesel car? Because usage cost, you have savings. How much is the savings? Savings is 4 per kilometer. So for every kilometer that you use the diesel car, you are saving 4 rupees as compared to petrol car. So how much kilometers should you run to save entire 24,000 which you spent extra? 24,000 is the extra money you spend to buy the diesel car, but after buying it you will save 4 rupees per kilometer. Yeah, so total how many kilometers should you run to collect entire savings of 24,000? Well, you should run 6,000 kilometers. Well, this 6,000 becomes your indifference point. Why? Because if you use the car for more than 6,000 kilometers, then you will accumulate enough savings. Well, if you use the car for more than 6,000 kilometers, then you would have accumulated enough savings to recover that extra cost of 24,000. Yeah, if you are using the car for less than 6,000 kilometers, if your estimated use is less than indifference point, then you choose the petrol car. If your estimated use is equal to exactly 6,000, then what? If your estimated use is exactly equal to 6,000, it means that you are indifferent. Whether you choose diesel car, whether you choose petrol car, it doesn't make a difference to you. And that is why 6,000 is called as indifference point. Yeah, yeah. So that's my interpretation. Indifference point calculation is difference in this fixed cost divided by difference in variable cost. Fixed cost difference you take total per annum, and variable cost difference you take per unit. So the answer that you get is in terms of units. Okay? So my formula becomes difference in fixed cost divided by difference in variable cost per unit, and the interpretation goes like this. Higher fixed cost option is affordable only if your usage is expected more. Diesel car has more fixed cost. Diesel car is affordable only if your usage is more. More than what? More than indifference point. Done? Yes, this is a very useful tool in many chapters of costing. I hope this short explanation gives you at least some sense into the concept of indifference point. That's all. Until next time, thank you very much. Bye bye.